Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of VeganProteins Online Coaching. And today I want to talk about examining your diet as a whole and filling in the gaps where you can, and my advice on how to do that. So I know on this channel we talk a lot about how to determine how many macronutrients you need, how much carbohydrate, fat, and protein to reach your goals as a vegan, and I think that is a very important thing to do. But what we don't talk a lot about, and I think it's important that we start to, is making sure that you're getting enough nutrition from your food. Now, this is something that, 20 years ago when I went vegan was almost like a no-brainer, because in order to get enough food, you had to eat a ton of whole foods because there weren't a lot of other options. But now you can essentially go from a standard American diet to a veganized standard American diet. And I don't think that you're gonna see a lot of the health benefits that can be associated with a plant-based diet if you do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a lot of those foods that come onto the market, and I appreciate them for what they are and helping people try more plant-based options. But I feel like I'm seeing more now than ever before people who are technically vegan, but they are not even remotely getting enough variety in whole foods into their diet. And along that same line, there are a lot of people like myself who can and will happily eat the exact same thing every day. It doesn't bother me at all to eat the same thing every day for an extended period of time. I'll eat the same breakfast for like 9 months, and then one day I'll wake up and be like, I'm sick of this, and I'll pick something else and eat that for the next 6 months or something. And there's nothing inherently wrong with this as long as that thing that you're eating contains a lot of variety, lots of colors, lots of good stuff for you. Honestly, sometimes mine doesn't. So when I feel like that's happening, I do this technique that I'm gonna talk to you guys about right now and show you what that looks like in real life for me. And hopefully you guys can do the same thing. My piece of advice for you is to supercharge one meal per day. I want you to make one meal per day exceptionally healthy, with not just a wide variety of foods, but specifically foods that you feel like you're lacking in the rest of your day. So what this requires you to do is to honestly take an inventory of what you're currently eating now. And honesty is the key here. And I'm not talking about carbs, fats, and proteins, because I feel like if you're watching this channel, like, you're already on board. You understand that you need to know how much carbs, fats, and proteins and calories you're getting if you want to build muscle, if you want to lose fat, and you can still get absolutely shredded and build a lot of muscle eating a pretty poor quality diet if you're getting the right amount of carbs, fats, and proteins. I'm not saying you'll be healthy on the inside, and we did just record an entire podcast about this specifically. So I believe that was episode 114 of Muscles by Brussels. Check that one out. When you're looking at what it is that you're actually taking in, again, be very honest with yourself. Where are the holes? Where are the holes of things that you're not getting? Are you getting plenty of fruits and vegetables? If you are getting some fruits and vegetables, is it the exact same fruits and vegetables every time? Like, I'm guilty of this. Are you eating a ton of broccoli but not a whole lot else? Could we get some other colors of vegetables in there? Are you getting leafy greens? Can we get those in there? Are you eating things like mushrooms? Are you eating beans? Are you eating plenty of nuts and seeds? Are you eating fermented foods? All of these things are things that you should consider. Are you getting plenty of color from berries? Things like that. I don't like the term superfood, which is another podcast we just recorded about how I think superfoods are BS, because you can make an argument that anything is a superfood, any whole food is a superfood. So I don't want to think about superfoods, but there are certain foods out there that are really, really nutrient dense, and eating some of those foods can sort of check a lot of boxes in terms of vitamins and minerals. So if you want to get really technical with this, you can plug everything that you're eating on a regular day into something like Chronometer, which I think does a much better job tracking micronutrients than something like MyFitnessPal, which only tracks a few micronutrients, and see, is there somewhere in there that you are consistently coming up short. Once you have your list of areas where you feel like you're falling short, let's make a meal out of it. It's really, truly that simple, and make that meal a staple in your diet going forward. Most people have at least one meal a day that they just don't really care about that much. Make it that meal. So for me, that meal is lunch. I really struggle to find lunches that are satisfying, that I look forward to at all. So it's really easy for me to make my lunch just this supercharged meal, because chances are, even if it was something else, I probably wouldn't like it that much anyway. So, I'm gonna try to make something that's nourishing and colorful and filling and checks all of those boxes for lunch, because you gotta eat then anyway. For a lot of people, this is gonna be breakfast. Like, the number of people who just skip over breakfast because they could do without it, there's a lot. So my version of this is gonna look like a bowl, but yours doesn't have to be. It could be a smoothie. It could be a smoothie bowl with lots of toppings on it. It could be a soup or a chili or a noodle dish that you're able to add the things that you want to it. For me, when I created mine, here's what I found in my own audit of my own journey. I was not eating a lot of whole beans. I was not eating a lot of vegetables that weren't broccoli or green beans. So I wanted to get some leafy greens put in there. And I wasn't getting a lot of colors from my vegetables. I get a lot of colors from fruits, but not really much from my vegetables. So I wanted to add some bright colored vegetables to my meal. So that is what I'm gonna do. I feel like I get plenty of grains throughout the day. I obviously get lots of protein, but a lot of times those proteins are coming from gluten-based types of proteins like seitan. I have found that I haven't been eating a lot of tofu or tempeh lately, so I'm deliberately using tofu in this meal. I also don't eat a lot of seeds. So I eat a good amount of nuts and nut butters and things like that, but not a lot of seeds, which arguably are in many ways better for you than nuts. So I'm gonna make a dressing for my bowl out of tahini, which is sesame seeds, and also miso, which is a fermented food. I do get some fermented food every day from yogurt, but I don't feel like there's a ton in there. And I like miso, it adds a lot of flavor to this. So that is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna assemble that together. But for you, maybe it is a smoothie with a spinach base, some cashew milk, lots of different frozen fruits in there. You could add some greens powders if you want to. Whatever it is that you choose to do, this is a really, really awesome tactic if you are somebody who most of the time is like on the go, microwaving your meals, eating the same thing every day. This is almost like a little insurance policy meal. So if you eat this meal every day, you have covered a lot of your bases, and the rest of the day does not need to be so pristine in order to accomplish what you need to accomplish in the long run. Because flexible dieting and hitting your macros and doing all that, it's great for physique change. Mentally, I feel like it's great to have that level of flexibility, so you're not thinking, I can only eat good foods or I can't have any bad foods, and that's a terrible way to be. So I love the mental, psychological aspects of flexible dieting, but I feel like you can take flexible dieting too far where you're not eating a lot of really nutritious whole foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds. It's very easy to go vegan, hit your macros, and eat absolutely everything out of a package these days. And it's, the double-edged sword of veganism becoming more mainstream is like, yes, there's more avenues for people to come try vegan food. We love that. However, if somebody has their health in mind and they want to keep their long-term health in mind, we do, in some ways, I think, need to just go back to basics and make sure that we're eating like a grown-up. You know what I mean? So hopefully this is helpful to you. I want to know, what are the holes in your diet that you see that you're consistently, having trouble getting these certain foods in? And what are some of the supercharged meals that you have come up with that you could implement every day that would just improve your quality of life going forward? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or requests, leave them in the comments down below. We really appreciate all of your feedback. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, reach out to us at VeganProteins.com for all of your vegan coaching needs. We would love nothing more than to help you, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.